Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to do lesson 7 of chapter 14, partition shapes. And this lesson is much easier than yesterday's. That problem solving gets me every time. Whew, I had to take a break myself and have lunch. So let's go ahead with lesson 7. And this is going to involve shapes as well as some fractions. And both of them we love. So let's begin with example 1. But, before I start, let's get a joke. We need it. How about, what did the left eye say to the right eye? Between you and me, something smells. That sounds familiar. I think I've done that one before, so we're going to go. How about this one? How many tickles does it take to make a squid laugh? 10 tickles. 10 tickles? That's funny. All right, how about this? What do you call an alligator wearing a vest? An investigator. And because yesterday's problem solving was so tough, we're doing one more. What's a tree's favorite drink? Root beer. All right, better. This is going to be great today. Get your arms ready. Get your hands all worked out. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay. Victoria. Victoria will plant 4 different vegetables in her rectangular garden. Get our pen ready. If she wants to partition, and we know partition means part, the garden into 4 equal sections, what fraction of the garden's area will be used for vegetables? Well, I think a lot of us are starting to think about spring and vegetable gardens. I know Mrs. Swint was about ready to start. I can't wait to start planting something. So this could be very easily a real world problem for us. So draw a rectangle to represent the garden. What Mrs. Swint's going to do is pull up our smartboard. And we are going to use the smartboard to help us with this problem. So it's a little bit easier for you to visualize. So we drew a rectangle here to represent the garden's area. We also know area, when they talk area, it's the inside of this rectangle. We now need to partition the rectangle into 4 equal sections. You could do this a number of ways. Mrs. Swint might want to go ahead and do it this way, just like 4, and I'm trying to make it as equal as possible. You could also have done it 4 ways this way, 4 lines down, as long as they're equal. Now, explain how I partitioned this rectangle. I drew a line vertically and I drew a line horizontally. Now they're asking this, what unit fraction of the garden's area will be used for each vegetable? Well, I have 4 different vegetables, so I'm going to have 1 vegetable out of the 4 sections. So 1/4 of the section might be carrots, 1/4 of the section might be cucumbers, 1/4 might be, I like spinach, and 1/4 might be tomatoes. Although tomatoes, I'm sure we'll call them a fruit or vegetable with the seeds, but that's what I would do. Let's go to the next page. On the next page, my friends, we have this. We have, I think I went too far. Partition a hexagon into 6 equal sections. What fraction of the hexagon area does each section represent? Over here, Mrs. Swin has created, I drew up my hexagon, and now I have to make it into 6 equal sections. To do that on a hexagon, we go across to across, from point to point. And when you do something with it, that because a hexagon has 6 sides and you want to partition it into 6 equal sections, it works perfectly doing it this way. Now, what would I call each of these sections? Well, remember on a fraction, the bottom number is always the total number of that your object's been divided into. So I would have, when it says what fraction of the hexagon does each, I would have a 6 on the bottom as the denominator, and each section represents 1 6, 1 6, 1 6, 1 6, 1 6, 1 6. I have 6 unit fractions. Remember, unit being 1. Number 2 is this first partition the hexagon into 2 equal sections, which you could, if I did this again, let's see, you actually have a trapezoid here and here. Then partition each into 3 sections. What unit fraction of the hexagon does each represent? And we just said is 1 6. Let's go down to the bottom under guided practice. On guided practice, it wants us to partition the circle into 4 equal sections. What unit fraction of the circle area does each section represent? I'm going to try my best with the circle here, since they drew the circle for me. I kind of went a little crazy there, didn't I? But now, and remember with fractions, each area would be the same size. So here I have 4 total. And if I want to know what each one would be, it would be a 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Let's go to the next page and look at our independent practice. It says partition each figure as indicated, then write the unit fraction of the figure's area that each section represents. Mrs. went ahead, and we've got these right here, all these different shapes. I don't want to do them all for you because I believe this is a pretty easy lesson and you deserve it after yesterday. But on the first one, they're showing you a rectangle that they want you to do 6 equal sections. When you have something like that, I'm going to first cut it in half. There's my 2 sections. Now I know I have to put 3 sections here and 3 sections here. So as carefully as I can, because I do want my shapes to be pretty close to the same size. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The question in the directions they want us to do is write the unit fraction. So I need to now write the unit fraction after I've divided it. So this would be 1 6. Each of these sections are 1 6. Go ahead and finish the independent practice. I don't believe any of it will stump you up. Just try to make sure use a pencil. Try to keep your sections when you're dividing them, that they're equal. Down below it says draw a square, partition it into 4 equal sections. What section? So you're drawing your own square here, and here you're going to draw your own rectangle. Let's go to problem solving. With problem solving today, we have Loretta. Loretta and her 3 friends are helping paint a rectangular wall in the school. They decide to partition the wall into 4 equal parts or sections. Each friend will paint 1 section. What unit fraction of the wall's area will each friend paint? So you need to draw a rectangle. You need to divide that or partition it into 4 equal sections. And the question they're asking is, tell me what that unit fraction is. Colton drew a pentagon. Remember how many sides a pentagon has? 5. So we want to make sure you have 5 sides on your pentagon. He partitioned the pentagon into 5 equal sections. Remember, my friends, when you have a pentagon, and I'm going to show you, if they're telling you to partition it in 5 ways, and it's got 5 sides, let's see if Mrs. Swint can get a pentagon out here. There's my 5. You simply do this. You can easily just go, again, from side to side for 5. Let's make sure Mrs. Swint does this right. It would go here. That's going to go here. That's going to go there. Whoops, there. Oops, Mrs. Finn did not do that right. Ignore that. Let's try again. 5. Redo, redo, redo. Isn't that cool how Mrs. Finn can do that? All right. If we want to partition this into 5 parts, we start with going down the middle. And then we can go ahead. That's 1 part. Let's go back. I'm going to take a look at our question to make sure I'm doing this right. 5. Then he partitioned each of those sections into 2 equal sections. What unit fraction of the whole represents the area of there? My pentagon is not a true pentagon here, friends, because these are shorter than this. So I guess my smart board's not as smart as I thought. Let's go back and try to do a true. It's not going to work here on this one. Let's work at it this way. I'm going to show you another strategy, another way of thinking about this. They give you the information. You've got 5 sides, and then then he partitioned each of those sections into 2. So if I have 5 sections, each of those sections were partitioned into 2 more equal sections. How many total sections would you have? You're going to have 10. And then if they ask you what the question is, what's that unit fraction? If you have 10 sections, you know then it's going to be, each unit would be 1/10. Mrs. Swin's going to give you that one, since I almost confused you on the other side of the world. Woo, woo. All right. Number 12, the area of a rectangular piece of fabric is 24 square inches. The fabric will be partitioned into sections of equal area. Each section will have an area that is 1/4 of the total area. How many square inches of area will each section have? All right, let's go ahead, and Mrs. Swan's going to get out her smart board. All right, so this is how we're going to work this problem. You have a rectangle. The fabric will be partitioned, it says, into 1/4 of the total. So I need to create 4 pieces. Now the tricky part here, you have to understand 24 square inches is the whole inside here. What you can do is we need to know if it's 4 times what? Oops, let's try to grab this pen this time. 4 times what? 1/4 is 24. 4 times what is 24? Well, if I'm looking at this particular, I know that each section, I know this is going to be, or 24 divided by 4, it's going to be 6. So if I would go ahead and how many square inches of area will each section have, we would be putting 6 square inches into each of these areas. So let's go ahead and try that. And you're going to show, and Mrs. Swint, it's going to be hard to put, if I did it over here, I'm going to put my 6 over here, friends. So you've got your 6 square inches on this particular one, friends. Show me how you get that answer. Now the bottom, I'm going to say you do not have to do number 14. Let's go on to the next page, which is our homework. Woo-hoo. All right, on our homework, you have got, let's make sure there's nothing confusing, partition, write the unit fraction, 3 equal pieces. Oh, you guys got this. Let's take a look at the story problems. Draw a circle, partition into 2 equal parts, and then make those, oh, easy. You guys are going to have no problem with this at all. Go ahead and finish up your homework today, and have a great day today, friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.